Hey, what's up, gamers? Enforcer 5150 here, and we are back to give a little bit of a review on Redfall. Anyway, Redfall is a first-person shooter that's developed by Arkane Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. Now, Redfall's launch was met with some huge criticism for its performance issues, and I'm kind of here to a little bit support that because it is definitely true. You know, Xbox's Phil Spencer addressed this in a recent interview with Forbes, stating that, quote, "I'm upset with myself that we didn't do a better job preparing the game for its launch," unquote. That's just straight out of the, right out of the box. Told us right away that they know that the game kind of sucks right now. It's kind of good that they acknowledge it, but that doesn't, remove the fact that many people spent a lot of money to, buy these games. And they have made a lot of money off selling this game. Anyway, despite these launch issues, I've been playing Redfall for a few days now and wanted to share my own impressions. The game takes place in an open world setting where you take on the role of a survivor fighting against a horde of vampires, not zombies this time, so it's, a little bit different. And, these vampires taking over the island of Redfall. One thing that immediately stood out to me is the game's unique enemy types. Redfall's, vampires come in different forms. Each have their own strengths and weaknesses, making the combat, engaging, and requires you to, strategize a little bit and adapt to their approach. Now, the game offers a range of abilities for the player. You can do stuff like telekinesis, all the way to stuff like invisibility, which allows you a bigger range for your gameplay style. Now, I've went ahead and experimented with some of these things and trying to find something that more suits my own play style, so they can make it a little bit fun in that aspect. While the overall story may not be particularly engaging, the individual characters in the game are well written and fleshed out, providing a sense of personality to the game. And I am looking forward to seeing more of these characters develop in some of their backstories as I progress through the game. Though, however, I must admit that I was a little bit too bored with the game to play for longer than a few hours. The combat, it can become really repetitive. And with some of the tactics being used repeatedly throughout the game, the graphics themselves lack the detail and polish that you would expect from a game of this caliber, which can turn off some players like myself that has a, YouTube channel that is based on, graphics and benchmarks and all those other things. But, the game's difficulty is also a little bit unbalanced at this time. Certain enemies or areas feel overly difficult, while others are just way too easy. One area where Redfall does excel, looking at it from benchmarking channel, gaming channel type, is the DLSS technology. The deep learning super sampling in Redfall works really well, allowing you to play the game at high resolutions and have all the graphical bells and whistles being turned on while maintaining, smooth and responsive frame rate. If it actually did that. Even with the frame generation on with DLSS and everything, I've seen my frames go from, say, 190 down to 90, just out of nowhere. So they definitely need to put some more time into optimizing this game. And it's not as bad as, say, what we've seen in Jedi Survivor, but there's still some things they need to do that's quite a jump in frames per second. Now, I also may need to add that while Redfall can be played cooperatively with friends, I was not able to convince anybody due to the poor launch to actually play the game with me, because they're like, I don't really want to spend any money on that. So, but I can imagine, playing with friends in this game could be fun and engaging. I'm not one that likes to just go with the, public, co-op play, because most people just will have their own agenda, and they just really will screw with your actual gameplay. So I'd rather have it with someone that I know, so that we can, actually play and have, more fun together. And most of those times, even if a game is crappy, it's still fun to end up, playing with them. Anyway, my overall impressions of Redfall are definitely mixed. While this game offers some unique features like varied enemy types and a wide range of abilities, it suffers from the launch issues and some repetitive gameplay. However, I think the game does have potential, and I hope that the future updates will address the performance issues and improve the overall experience. As Phil Spencer said, quote, "We're committed to making Redfall the best they can be," unquote. So this tells us that, they are going to try to get the game a little bit better throughout some updates. They haven't given up on it yet, and that's a good thing to know. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video today. Make sure you hit that like button, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. Y'all take care, and happy gaming.